Hello, ham radio nerds everywhere. This is Kilo Foxtrot Zero Sierra Juliet Sierra, also known as Soco Guy here in South Colorado. And I'm a fairly new ham. I got my general ticket a few months ago, and I've really been taking advantage of all the bands that I can get on now. And so this is my setup. I have an ICOM 7300, and I'm using the HF View software, which is free, really cool, better than an SDR plugged in, and all the associated periphery that goes with that. So this just uses a standard printer cable, plugs into the back of the ICOM 7300, plugs into a USB port here, and I've got a great waterfall on the screen, and I really like this system a lot. So why I'm here today is talk about noise. Noise is it wasn't a problem before on 10 meter on my metal roof. I had a ham stick. I just made a metal bracket and used magnets to capacitively um, couple the metal roof with the ham stick, and I was all over the world on 10 meters, and I thought, man, I've got this whipped. So then I decided to upgrade because I could use other bands, and I decided, well, I'll just go with a 4 element, reasonably priced vertical, and get this ham stick off the roof, and my wife will be happy. This other antenna will be a little more remote. And didn't quite work out that way. I put 16 radials in the ground, about 14 feet long, and I bought a Cushcraft HV4E antenna. And Dave Kessler, who I have a lot of respect for, he's quite the old Elmer. Doesn't live very far from me. He's over in Ridgeway, and he's got a lot of wisdom. Well, he was all about this antenna, so I thought that's the way I'm going to go. So I put it in, installed everything correctly, and I got in here and I couldn't see anything happening. Like Dave said, it was quite an effort to get that thing tuned in just right. And I used one of these nano VNAs, to get it tuned, and got it dialed in really well, and I just had nothing but noise. I couldn't figure it out. I talked to some of the guys at different places. David over DX Engineering, very helpful, and we really didn't know what was going on. And so I came across a video somewhere. It was talking about all the things in your house that can cause noise, and the first thing that you're going to be thinking about is this solar system, which you can probably see a little bit off picture here. This system is sitting right next to my radio, and it really doesn't have any problem. It has filters. The radio has, everything is isolated very well. And I never had a problem before with my other radios with noise coming from it. So I just didn't know what to think. Well, I'm at 6,700 feet of altitude here. And so I don't need the antenna some guys need to get out. And that's a blessing. But what I did was I mounted that antenna, that vertical, which is about 17 feet tall, on the ground. And basically, that antenna sees everything at that level. And so inside my house, I had several wall warts, if you will. These are big producers of RF right here. And lo and behold, if you've got your cables plugged in, they're actually an antenna to radiate that. And so that's not cool. So I thought, well, what the heck? I'll just mount that antenna above the roof line of my house, which I have a steel roof. And in doing that, that metal roof basically isolated all that RF below it and provided a good ground plane. So I thought, I've tried everything else. I've got good grounds. I've got good radials spaced. I had put a lot of effort into that and put them under gravel, so they weren't really very deep. Just an inch or so of gravel, and I'd tried to do my research. Didn't work out. Well, it's very dry and arid for one where I live here. It's bone dry a lot of times. So, the grounds, the radials really weren't doing a very good job. I suppose if I soaked the yard every day, that would have, contributed to good reception and transmission. But anyhow, after exhausting myself with the antenna out where I had it located, I thought, yeah, I'll just put it on a pole and I'll put it up on this metal roof, and that'll, if there is a big RF problem down below in the house here, that'll cure that problem as well as provide a good solid ground plane. Um, and wow, what a difference. I probably have some pictures somewhere to show you before and after, but this is what um, my noise floor looks like now. I'm down to half of a dB here, and I just have enough trace on the screen to be able to see other signals as they come up. Now these lines here are external, devices that are transmitting. They don't really have anything to do with here, but it's crazy the difference. So if you're having a problem with trying to isolate where your RF is coming from, gosh, that's a good way to go. I did put 7 1-inch chokes on the coax. I used a decent coax, and I put them coming right out of the antenna on that end of the coax. The coax is about 70 feet, and then I did put a dirty balun on this end, and but I had done that prior to, and in my effort to try to fix the problems, and it didn't really make any difference. I had so much noise, I knew there was an issue, I just didn't understand. So I don't know if you guys have problems with that stuff or not, but maybe that'll help you in the future. And it sure helped me a lot. So now I don't have any challenge other than my wife being a little upset that the antenna is right up against the house. And so I think if I take her out to eat a couple more times, she'll probably forget about that. And also, as a side note, this is kind of proof to people that may be concerned about having electronics equipment too close to your radios, how they would impact things. And like I said, this is a good inverter, so it has good filters in it and isolation, and the ICOM 7300 super radio, hard to beat. Um, it it's doing the best that it can on its end, and I think between the two of those, and I also have another choke on this power supply which I put on it earlier. But yeah, you can be that close to something putting out a lot of interference and not have any noise on your screen if it's done right. So I don't claim to be an expert. I'm just a general, and I have an electronics background, and I do understand a lot of this stuff, but there's a lot of pieces missing. So I'm learning, and I'm really enjoying getting out on the bands, 40 and 20 meters, 15 meters. It's just amazing. Um, all the fun I'm having getting out all over the world talking to people. So that was what cured my problem, and I hope it cures yours. So come back and see some of my other videos. This is SoCo Guy in sunny southern Colorado, and my call sign is Kilo Fox 0 Sierra Juliet Sierra. So 73s.